Hey guys, it's B-Rob. It's the Food for Thought Faithcast, and it is a lovely day, and I hope you're blessed. God is doing miracles, and I just want to tell you about it. But first, I want you to listen to these clips, and I'll be back. Love you guys. God bless you guys, and it's a wonderful, gorgeous, beautiful day that God has made.
If you want to change the world, start off by making your bed. If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task, and another, and another. And by the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. Making your bed will also reinforce the fact that the little things in life matter. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never be able to do the big things right. And if by chance you have a miserable day, you will come home to a bed that is made, that you made. And a made bed gives you encouragement that tomorrow will be better. To pass SEAL training, there are a series of long swims that must be completed. One is the night swim. Before the swim, the instructors joyfully brief the students on all the species of sharks that inhabit the waters off San Clemente. They assure you, however, that no student has ever been eaten by a shark, at least not that they can remember. But you are also taught that if a shark begins to circle your position, stand your ground. Do not swim away. Do not act afraid. And if the shark, hungry for a midnight snack, darts towards you, then summons up all your strength and punch him in the snout, and he will turn and swim away. There are a lot of sharks in the world. If you hope to complete the swim, you will have to deal with them. So if you want to change the world, don't back down from the sharks. Over a few weeks of difficult training, my SEAL class, which started with 150 men, was down to just 42. There were now 6 boat crews of 7 men each. I was in the boat with the tall guys, but the best boat crew we had was made up of the little guys. The Munchkin crew, we called them. No one was over 5'5". The Munchkin boat crew had 1 American Indian, 1 African American, 1 Polish American, 1 Greek American, 1 Italian American, and 2 tough kids from the Midwest. They out-paddled, outran, and outswam all the other boat crews. The big men in the other boat crews would always make good-natured fun of the tiny little flippers the Munchkins put on their tiny little feet prior to every swim. But somehow these little guys from every corner of the nation and the world always had the last laugh, swimming faster than everyone and reaching the shore long before the rest of us. SEAL training was a great equalizer. Nothing mattered but your will to succeed, not your color, not your ethnic background, not your education, not your social status. If you want to change the world, measure a person by the size of their heart, not by the size of their flippers. The 9th week of training is referred to as Hell Week. It is 6 days of no sleep, constant physical and mental harassment, and 1 special day at the Mud Flats. The Mud Flats are an area between San Diego and Tijuana where the water runs off and creates the Tijuana Sloughs, a swampy patch of terrain where the mud will engulf you. It is on Wednesday of Hell Week that you paddle down to the Mud Flats and spend the next 15 hours trying to survive this freezing cold, the howling wind, and the incessant pressure to quit from the instructors. As the sun began to set that Wednesday evening, my training class, having committed some egregious infraction of the rules, was ordered into the mud. The mud consumed each man till there was nothing visible but our heads. The instructors told us we could leave the mud if only 5 men would quit. Only 5 men, just 5 men, and we could get out of the oppressive cold. Looking around the mud flat, it was apparent that some students were about to give up. It was still over 8 hours till the sun came up. 8 more hours of bone-chilling cold. The chattering teeth and the shivering moans of the trainees were so loud, it was hard to hear anything. And then one voice began to echo through the night. One voice raised in song. The song was terribly out of tune, but sung with great enthusiasm. One voice became 2, and 2 became 3, and before long, everyone in the class was singing. The instructors threatened us with more time in the mud if we kept up the singing, but the singing persisted, and somehow the mud seemed a little warmer, and the wind a little tamer, and the dawn not so far away. If I have learned anything in my time traveling the world, it is the power of hope. The power of one person, a Washington, a Lincoln, King, Mandela, and even a young girl from Pakistan, Malala. One person can change the world by giving people hope. So if you want to change the world, start each day with a task completed. Find someone to help you through life. Respect everyone. Know that life is not fair and that you will fail often. But if you take some risks, step up when the times are the toughest, face down the bullies, lift up the downtrodden, and never, ever give up. If you do these things, the next generation and the generations that follow will live in a world far better than the one we have today. And what started here will indeed have changed the world for the better.
Michael Jordan said in one of his interviews, when they said, "You're unbelievable, you're the greatest basketball player of all times." I mean, tell me about that. And he says, "Well, you just mentioned the successes." But he says, "For me to become the greatest basketball player, I missed..."
It's more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life.
Does it make him a failure? No. We all fail. It's okay. What is not okay is that when you fail, you stay down. Whoever stays down is a loser. And winners will fail and get up. Always get up. That is a winner.
Listen, anything you do, never forget God. When you get what you prayed for, don't forget Him. On your good days, you still need Him. Because the Bible says in Job 1:21, the Lord gave and the Lord has taken away. If you forget to give Him credit, He'll remind you, because God knows how to humble the ungrateful.
God has given you everything that you need to accomplish all that He has called you to accomplish. Yep. So if He has called you to be a man, to be a husband, to be a dad, that means that God has equipped you with everything you need to accomplish the things that He has called you to.
If I'm forgiven, then why don't I just sin? So if I sin, I could just go kind of use my get-out-of-jail-free pass later. This is not a get-out-of-jail-free card for you to be able to just kind of ravage the streets and prowl, and then all of a sudden when you need it, you're like, can you make bail today? Like, that's not how salvation works.
As Christians, it's hard to know where the line in the sand is between being in the world and not of the world. And as a Christian artist, you know, I dress kind of like the world. I kind of look like the world. My music can kind of sound like the world. So where's the line in the sand drawn? And I'm convicted personally that a line that I can draw is that I will not receive a trophy for something that is from Jesus and for Jesus. And I was wrestling with this last year. I even said that on stage at the Dove Awards. I said, I'm still struggling with the concept of receiving this award, but all glory to Jesus. Every name will fade away, including mine, except for one name. But I feel a conviction to go even a step further and say, I don't know if I even want to step on the stage. I don't know if I want to step in the room. And so I have decided to take a stance of non-participation. I will not be attending the Doves or the Grammys. I hope to be an example to the youth that the trophy is our salvation.
All right, so Forrest Frank, he's saying he's not going to the Dove Awards because he's feeling convicted and he doesn't want to accept an award for something that he feels like Jesus should be getting the recognition for, not him. So he doesn't even want to be in the spotlight. He doesn't even want to be in a room. And I feel like that's okay. You know, if you're feeling convicted, then go ahead, follow that conviction. But then we got Jelly Roll in the comments, and he's pretty much saying that, you know, how you going to not receive a trophy for something from Jesus, for Jesus, but you're going to take profits from it, you know? And really he's saying, like, how you going to not even come to the award to get the award for it, but you're going to accept the money from it. And it's funny because, you know, he's selling albums, Forrest Frank is. And obviously when you're selling albums and you're a music artist, you're going to make money. So I don't know if the idea here is for him to donate all the money that he's making. But I wanted to actually go back to the word because the Bible is the truth. And in 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verses 7 through 14, Paul and Barnabas are the only two apostles that do not take money from the ministry. And so he's saying, who serves as a soldier at his own expense? Who plants a vineyard and does not eat its grapes? Who tends a flock and does not drink the milk? Do I say this merely on human authority? Doesn't the law say the same thing? For it is written in the law of Moses, do not muzzle an ox while it's treading out the grain. Is it about oxen that God is concerned? Surely he's saying this for us, isn't he? Yes, this was written for us because whoever plows and threshes should be able to do so in the hope of sharing in the harvest. And if we've sown spiritual seed among you, is it too much if we reap a material harvest from you? If others have this right of support from you, shouldn't we have it all the more? But we did not use this right. On the contrary, we put up with anything rather than hinder the gospel of Christ. Don't you know that those who serve in the temple get their food from the temple, and that those who serve at the altar share in what is offered at the altar? In the same way, the Lord has commanded that those who preach the gospel should receive their living from the gospel. So Paul is pretty much putting it here right now. And he said, hey, man, it's okay for those disciples, those apostles to accept money from the ministry. Now, it's one thing to, be greedy, be doing it for the pursuit of the money. But, here it's clearly that they're doing it for the gospel. They're doing it for Jesus. And then the reward is the harvest. The reward in this case is the money. Some of them doing it 100% of their time. So, I mean, honestly, we got to stop fighting over who's doing it right. And we got to stop like nitpicking over the little things, like Jelly Roll's doing, and really just start asking ourselves, like, am I actually following Christ in my own life? Because obviously Forrest Frank, he's doing it. And if he's feeling convicted, he's feeling convicted.
So I wasn't going to respond to this comment because I didn't want to bring any unnecessary drama. I posted my personal conviction. It triggered a lot of people. I had no idea that was going to happen. But now Fox News has brought it up in People Magazine, so I feel like I'm inclined to speak on it. All I'm going to say to you, Jelly, is I love this question. This is the question that kept me from making Christian music for so many years, because I didn't want to make a business out of worship music. I didn't want to make a business out of Jesus. And so I actually didn't participate. And then one day I felt like God was telling me to release, I'll call it my quiet time song. And I did. And here's the thing. Legally, it was self-produced and self-written. So legally, that money comes to me. What I do with that money after it legally comes to me, I'm never going to tell anybody, because your left hand isn't supposed to know from your right hand. I might give 90% of my money away. I might give 10% of my money away, somewhere in between, but y'all are never going to know that, because that's my relationship with Jesus. But I love this conversation, and I'm willing to be refined in any area. Anyways, I'm just stoked by this comment. This is something that I would love to figure out. And in the meantime, I'm a safe place for you, bro. Whether that's on the phone or on here on social media, I'm for you, bro. God is for you. He has a plan for your life.
Y'all forgive me. I'm not sure how much I even belong speaking up here right now, but and I'm nervous. I ain't been this nervous since I went to criminal court, y'all. This is a real thing for me. I'm sweaty palm, but I was listening to him and I was thinking about Matthew when he talks about the least. When he said, when I was hungry, you fed me. When I was thirsty, you gave me water. When I was in jail, you came and visited me. And I realized that I'm standing here because people took time with the least. Come on. And I want to give this message as clear as I can right now. The world is hearing about Jesus like they haven't in decades right now. There is a revival happening in the United States of America where you can't go on a corner and not hear about Jesus right now. And while we are hearing about Jesus, I encourage you to put faith on your feet and feet on your faith and walk out of this building and go do for the least. They've heard of Jesus. Now show them Jesus. Go feed the poor. Go visit the ones in jail. Go show them who Jesus was. And we're done talking. It's time to show. I thank you for the Dove Awards. I think this thing is great. I think it gives alternative programming for kids at home watching this. My son's watching this. I think this is awesome. He gets to watch an award show like this. I thank God that I could see the forest for the trees. God bless y'all.
So why are you doing the opposite, Jelly? And in that last line right there, I can see the forest for the trees, like that wasn't a shot at Forrest Frank. I mean, you say all this good stuff, and I hope your heart is well. But we see you living the lavish lifestyle. And I don't see you giving none of that away. And the only time I see you talking about Jesus is when you on stage in front of thousands and millions of viewers. I just pray your heart's right. No judgment from me because I ain't the judge. And I totally agree about the revival. I totally agree.
I would encourage, regardless of what kind of denomination you grew up in or whatever, for those folks listening, just read the Bible for yourself and find a Bible teaching pastor that teaches it, and just dig in.
Right.
You know, don't just assume the traditions that you've been handed down, because somebody made those up, and some of them are good, some of them are not good, and so just see what it says for yourself.
Hey guys, it's B-Rob. We thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Food for Thought Faithcast. The Food for Thought Faithcast is brought to you by B-Rob for Christ Ministries. If you'd like us to pray for you, click the link below. If you'd like to donate, click the link below. We love you. God bless. And have a blessed day.